Alright, I'm just going to do a quick little video on how I combine my LRGB data. I guess we'll grab these three files. I don't even know what it is. I think it's the antenna galaxies, but we'll find out here in a second. So we'll just close these ones down. No, it's running chicken. Alright, so you can see there's a bit of black there around the edges. So the first thing we want to do is crop it. So this is how I do it. Just real rough, something like that. Don't apply it. You want to put the process down here. Then you can just close it. And we can just drag it and drop it, which is cool. So that's done. We'll just rename them really quickly. So this one's blue. This one's red. And this one's got to be green. Alright. Some people will do and I used to do this, they'll do a gradient removal now. But I don't know, it seems to work alright after I combine them. So the next thing you want to do is do the linear fit. So it should be up here, linear fit. And we want to use the blue, get out of there, we want to use the blue image as the reference, and we just want to apply it to the other two images. And this will just sort of like line up the histogram so they're all roughly the same. Doesn't take too long. Yep, and then we'll do this one. Cool. Now they look washed out, but if you just hit Control A on the keyboard, it'll just reapply that auto stretch, and they'll look better. Cool. So now we want to combine them, which is LRGB combination. We're not going to use the L. We can just type this in: red, green, blue. Hit go. Alright, so we'll do a Control A auto stretch. Cool. So we're going to work with this image now. We'll put these ones, we'll minimize them. So the next step we're going to do is a gradient removal. Just put those over there. So this one I like to use the SETI Astro. It's in here, the Grack Spurt. Yep. Just hit go. Shouldn't take too long either. Make sure you're using, if you've got an NVIDIA card, make sure you're using the CUDA accelerator drivers or whatever they are. Makes a huge difference. Cool, so that just removed the background. Next step, we want to do a image solver. So all this data should already be in here if you used astronomy software that wrote the FITS file with the correct information on it. So you can just hit OK. And we need to do this for the next step, which is the SPCC, spectral color photometric something, I don't know. This can take a while sometimes, depending on if you've got a lot of stars in there. Cool. So now we can run the SPCC. And so this is where you need to know what filter you're using and put the right setting in here. So I'm using the Antlers. Oops. And you can go into filter management and curve explorer, and there's a way. I had to add these in here manually, I believe, but just basically pop those in there, hit go. Now these should be lined up quite nicely. Yeah, I find if you don't have enough pictures, these are all over the place. But the picture looks really weird now, so we'll just hit the auto stretch again. And so this should be all color corrected now, basically. Cool. I mean, that's, now we can just do the blur exterminator, star exterminator, noise exterminator, all that. We'll do that quickly. These were 60-second exposures. Not many of them either, I don't think. So blur exterminator should clean up these stars quite nicely. Quickly do a noise exterminator, and I'll show you. We zoom in, see a bit of noise there. Go noise exterminator, same thing. I've actually wound it back to 83 instead of 90. I think 90 is the default, 0.9. Cool. And the last step now is the star exterminator. Awesome. So basically I only took these frames for the stars. You know, I just wanted these stars here. This stuff here I threw away, and I used the narrow band. Still pretty nice. If we unstretch it, just black, yep. And I've started using this statistical stretch, which is really easy. Saves a lot of time. We'll just go and preview refresh. Usually I've got to wind this target median back. Yeah, we want to put it back a bit. Cool. Execute that. Alright, so sometimes I'll put this into Photoshop and adjust the colours and stuff around, but we can use curves on here to do kind of the same thing. Actually, first thing I want to do, well, we might be able to do it in here. Just get rid of a bit of that background. Something like that. Something like that, maybe. Just put a bit of saturation in there. We love a lot of saturation. Oh, yes. That's it. Perfect. Yep, that's beautiful. When I started, I always used to put heaps of saturation in, but I've learnt now to keep it more subtle. Alright, so we'll close this. And then it still looks a bit yuck there. What I'm going to do is just have a look at the histogram real quick. Just make sure there's not a big... Yeah, we're just going to get rid of that little gap there. So I'm just going to grab that and just probably put it to there. Not much difference. Cool, cool, cool. I just want to have a quick look what this SCNR is going to do to the image. We'll undo this. Alright, cool. We'll undo that. Cool, so that's ready to go. So I'll unstretch these stars, and we'll do the SETI Astro star stretch. Same deal, we'll go show preview. I like to look at it fully zoomed in and go to the brightest sort of stars, which are over here. Just, oh yeah, they look good. Yep, that looks good. And I'm just going to apply that. Cool, so there's our two stretched images. And I'm just going to rename this one to Neb. We'll rename this one to Stars. Cool, cool, cool. And we're going to stick them back together. So, this is the command. Pop that in. Pop that in. and that's looking pretty cool. I'm just going to grab this SCNR now and get rid of the green. Probably just going to put that on like 0.9. Meh. It's alright. Cool. I mean, that's the basics of it. I mean, you can add luminance channels and do a bunch of other stuff, but that's how you do the RGB combination, or how I do it anyway. You can try and do the gradient removal on the individual black and white pictures before you add them together, but I used to do that. It takes a little bit longer. I don't see any difference. There probably is, but whatever. Cool, man. Hope that helps.